YouTube, this is Digital Redbeard. I'm going to be going over a new knife today, the Entrek Forester by Ray Enos. Ray Enos makes all of these knives by hand. He has made over 7,000 knives. He has I think over 20 models now on his website. He also has a great series of YouTube videos where he goes through making, I believe it's the javelina knife, and he does, it's about a 7-8 part series where he goes over how he makes all of the knives, that particular knife, but he can, several of the other knives use similar features. So I have watched those, and that's a great resource and demonstration. This particular knife is 7 7/8 inch overall from tip to the end of the tang. The blade is 3 5/8 inch, and you might lose 1/8 of an inch right there at the end, so the cutting edge is probably 3 1/2 inches. The weight of the knife is 5.7 ounces. The sheath, which is a Kydex sheath, weighs 1.2 ounces. The total weight, sheath and knife, is 6.9 ounces. The steel is a 440C Sub-Zero stabilized and double drawn to 57 to 58 on the Rockwell hardness scale. The blade thickness is just over 1/8 of an inch. I measured it at 0.130 inches in thickness. The blade height from here to here is 0.90 inches, so just under 1/10 under 1 inch. It has a full Scandi grind, which goes all of the way from here down to the edge. I have probably since put a slight micro bevel on it during sharpening or stropping. This is also a bit more polished than what it came. As you can tell, I have sharpened and polished the blade. I think he finishes off at 220 grit and just runs it quickly on a hone grinding or a paper wheel to finish off sharpening it. It did come very sharp. I will demonstrate the sharpness as it is right now. I mean, it is just absolutely ridiculously sharp. This is probably the sharpest knife I have right now. It just, that 440C steel just takes an absolutely wicked edge. Just effortlessly. Yeah, that's enough. I'm going to have to clean that up later, so enough mess. But absolutely razor sharp edge that it has taken. The sheath, as I said, is Kydex. Has some eyelets to strap onto. There is no drain hole on it. It is a very low profile sheath. It sits right next to you when you're carrying it. Doesn't hang out or anything. The durability, one thing that I'm concerned about, it hasn't affected me or broken, but just the durability of the eyelet or the belt loop here with just the one grommet. So, like I said, it hasn't broke, but I do worry that it may. Black Kydex. The retention is not great, but it is in there. I don't think that it would come out. I mean, you can definitely shake it loose. You could put another eyelet up here to really secure it if you wanted to, or grommet. But I've taken it hiking a couple times now and haven't had any issues with it. The features, I think, of this particular knife is, I would call it a modern bushcrafting knife due to the materials used. I think our more traditional knives would use a wood handle with 01 tool steel. The 440C lends quite a bit of rust resistance. I will say, I was taking it hiking recently and was cutting some green wood for some marshmallow sticks actually, and didn't wipe off the blade after I put it away, and a day or so later when I was back at the house, took it out of the sheath and noticed that there were some rust spots only on the part here that is sandblasted, and I just took some polishing compound and just wiped it off, but it will corrode, so probably shouldn't have put it away without wiping off the blade. But now I know, so I will take a little bit closer care to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Another nice thing about the handles is that they have a taper right here that in the chest lever grip, put your thumb right there, get some good traction, get it down close to the blade. So it is fairly comfortable in a variety of grips. One thing that I will say is I would have liked to seen overall the handles just a little bit more, well, not this flat right here, so just smoothed, more oval shaped. So I haven't had any hot spots with it, but I could see that you might get some over time. But so I will now go into a few demonstrations, making some feather sticks, and show the maintenance, how I keep it sharp. Alright, going to show the Forester in action here, using a piece of hardwood that I have batoned down to make a feather stick. So as you can see, have absolutely no problem whatsoever making the curls. My skill, however, of keeping the curls attached and not letting them break off leaves something to be desired. But as you can tell, just effortlessly cutting through the wood here. And really the only problem I've had is that with of course this is with pretty much any of the Scandi grind knives, is that you can get too thick of shavings if you angle it too much. So just gotta be very careful to get the thinner shavings. As you can see there, I have absolutely no problems making very long curls down to very, very thin curls. So no problem at all whatsoever there. And try a little notch here. problem with that. Try the chest lever grip. Take off some really big slices. Works great. And chest lever grip. I will show this here. I use the Forester, just trying to find a little project to use it for, to make a little mallet for using chisels and hand gouges, things like that. So a little uneven and wobbly, but just thought I would be a good little project to use it for, and you know, it has worked great. This is some pretty hard wood here, and you know, used it in a lot of different grips, carving the wood, making different cuts on it, really just practicing my carving skills and what parts of the blade to use to really, you know, get some good angles and cuts, and it's worked out great. So I will show you what I use, how I sharpened the knife, polished the knife, honed the knife, and how I keep it maintained. This is my sharpening kit. There are several different methods to sharpen Scandi grind knives. Basically, you need a flat surface and an abrasive compound or paper or stone. This is a honing plate which I got at Bushcraft, and it is machined to be very flat. And that was a problem that I had with the water stones, is that they you know, you have to keep them flat, and I really like this method, and this aluminum plate is just super flat. And I just take, these are different grits of sandpaper. You can get them at Walmart in the automotive section with the painting stuff, and I've got you know, down to 80 grit and up to 2000 grit in these papers, and a pretty wide range in between, and they're like $3 for a pack of 5 of them that last a pretty good while. And this actually is from Bushcraft. These are honing films that really put a mirror polish on it at the end. So total, this was 15 bucks, and you know, this is, I don't know, 50 bucks. So the cost of one really nice Japanese water stone, and I've got pretty much my entire sharpening system. I do also have a leather hone here, so but this is a good inexpensive way to get into sharpening Scandi grind, and you can sharpen other bevels as well, but the Scandi grind works really well. So when I first got this knife, it was to about a 220 grit. So just to work off the grind lines, you just start, I started with I think it was around a 320 grit paper. Let's see, there's a 600. I think this is it, but anyways, it doesn't matter. So went up through the grits: 320, 400, 800, 600, 800, 1000, 2000, and basically just rotate the edge bevel down onto it, and you can really do it in either direction, and just go back and forth. And once you get this is up to a mirror polish pretty much now. Once you get the edge the way you like it, this really won't be needed again until unless you put a big nick or really dull the blade out. So this is really just for primary use. The sandpaper's for the primary setting it. And now I do use these films, which are not in grits but in, I believe it's micro, I can't think of the word now, but particle sizes. So you've got 15, 9, and 7, I believe, but very, very fine. Let's see here. Microns, 0.3 microns, 5 microns, and 15 micron films. And these you can just set them right on top of the hone, and it's an adhesive back that you take off and you can stick it on it. I've just been taking these little clothespins and setting them on it like that, so I can just take them right back off and reuse them later. But and you always put some water on it, and you just go all the way through these. It just takes some time going through all the different grits, but then once you get it there, really all I use is just this leather strop that I made myself. I got a piece of poplar from Home Depot or Lowe's, and they have scrap bags of leather at Michael's that you get a pound of leather scraps that come with a variety of different pieces. Just get a very thin piece of leather so you don't add much of a micro bevel to it when you're honing it. And this is really for maintenance all I do to keep it good and sharp honed. And just spend a little bit of time, no hurry, and just push it, just very light pressure. I'm not putting hardly any pressure on it. Just work the entire length of the bevels. And that is really all it takes to get a mirror polish and a razor edge on this knife. This knife has taken an exceptionally keen edge, as sharp as any knife that I have ever owned. So I am going to say that this is my new favorite Bushcraft knife, and I have used it on quite a few different projects now, and it has worked wonderfully. So if you are in the market for a modern style Bushcraft knife with Micarta canvas handle slabs, 440C stainless steel, Kydex sheath, low profile, I would say low profile sheath, this is a great choice. So I am just going to continue on showing some different cutting tasks with the knife, but thank you for watching. this is some green wood here, so make some marshmallow sticks or some tent pegs, whatever you're out doing. I know a lot of people like to use the green wood for carving wooden spoons and implements and things, just because of how easy it carves, and it does certainly carve a lot easier than dry hardwoods. Could take a green stick to make a bow for a bow drill, and you'd want to, well, you wouldn't have to, but I always like to clean the bark off of them, or a walking stick while you're out. As you can see, it just effortless. So I think Ray has done a particularly fine job of adapting the bushcraft style knife into a more modern version with the use of more modern steels and handle materials and sheath materials.